Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show here on STV. The main talking points on tonight's programme: is it win or bust for Scotland in Slovakia after that 1-1 draw against Lithuania on Saturday evening? Gordon Strachan reckons an away win could be crucial in our campaign to qualify. And Joey Barton's ban has been extended by a further week at Rangers. Just a few of the talking points to discuss. OK, Ruffy, let's cut to the chase. What was your take on that 1-1 draw with Lithuania?
Well, I think at the end of the day, the result was poor. I don't think the performance was great. You know, I would give them a bit of slack, saying we did create chances, and you know, but basically few and far between. You know, but the thing for me was that I thought Lithuania over the years had improved into a reasonable side, where we've seemed to have stood still. I'm not panicking yet, but my finger is above the panic button, and I think we need to take something tomorrow night. We need really, I know you're saying a win, I can't see us winning, but a draw, and in light of the other results that's happened over, still gives us a bit of hope.
Yep, OK, and before we get Mark's thoughts on it, here's what Gordon Strachan had to say about the game.
Second half, played well, played really well, best we've played for a long time in the second half. Far better than the four friendlies we had, that's for sure, and made more chances than we did in Malta. It's exciting stuff at times, and to drag themselves back after that body blow of the goal was terrific, and I congratulate the lads on that and for going for it. As I say, there's a lot of chances cleared off the lines, could have been handball, could have been this, could have been that, but might be a good point.
Take on it, Mark. Guidi, what did you make of it?
Well, in terms of Gordon's comments after the game, he's tried to put a positive spin and watch what is a bitterly disappointing night. It's a result that leaves us really fighting to be involved, and I think you've got to win tomorrow night in Slovakia. You had to take 4 points out of 6. Historically, Peter, if you look at it, if you take England out of the equation and it becomes a 5-team section to finish runners-up, you've got 8 games. You must win your 4 home games and then you must nick points. So you've got to get to 18, 19, 20 points to realistically have a chance of finishing second. Scotland are not on course to do that. If you don't win their home games, as has happened in previous campaigns, that's why we've not qualified for the past 9 or 10 tournaments, because we've been unable to beat countries such as Lithuania at home, to go away and get points in Georgia, that kind of thing. So, Gordon Strachan, the other thing for me as well, Peter, the attendance on Saturday night at the game, 36,000 there. First game, home game of the campaign. The Tartan Army have lost a bit of faith as well. There wasn't that real atmosphere. I thought it started very flat. Yes, they should have won the game, but overall it wasn't good enough. And one way where I would disagree with Gordon is, for the life of me, I can't understand why he picks Chris Martin as our main centre forward.
OK, I'm going to have to offer some sort of balance on it, some sort of objectivity on it. Who's going to hold the ball up, Ruffy? Is it a Fletcher? Is Griffiths out as a lone striker? I can't see it. I think of the players that we all tried to pick in 11. My observation on the whole entire game is we actually get to a situation where the few chances that we do create in a game, and we did create about 5 or 6 chances in the game that we couldn't take, but of those chances we have to score because, quite simply, we have a poor defence. And I'm talking about the 2 central defenders. We always give teams a chance. Lithuania scored 1 from something down the centre of the defence, and they could have had another from a similar move down the centre of the defence. We always give a goal away from that point. No harm to the boys. They're the best they can possibly be. It's the best we have on offer. There's no other options.
Yeah, I think it's becoming rather easy to play against us, because it's very apparent we can't open up sides. We don't have a player that can see a pass through to split like the goal that Lithuania got. Our main ammunition is getting the ball wide and firing the ball into the box. And firing the ball into the box when there's only one striker in there, you're up against it for most of the time. You know, if there was 2 strikers in there, you might have a chance, because once we get the ball wide, the wee boy Robertson had a fantastic game. You know, he was firing balls in there and I don't know if you watched any of the other qualifying games that were on. These balls that are fired into the box, quality strikers are on the end of them. Lafferty was on the end of one. You know, I think there was another game. And good strikers make themselves available for any ball coming into the box. We have corners were a threat. We get our goal for a throw-in. You know, we're not opening up teams. We're not putting them under any pressure at all. And I think if you look at our last 14, 15 games, if you take out the smaller clubs, we've only managed to score 2 goals on 3 occasions.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
I mean, the game in the first half would have been a game that Graham Taylor would have enjoyed on a DVD. It was like Route 1 football at times. Not great to watch, trying to get set pieces, throw-ins, as Ruffy mentioned. But I think we started to play a little bit in the second half. Now we've got a conundrum because we're wondering who he's going to pick. I think if he has, because he's under pressure, Mark, I think he's got to somehow now look and say, OK, I have a system, but I need to switch it to get Lee Griffiths in that system.
Yeah, certainly Lee Griffiths looked lively when he came on. He seemed to give it, his nickname Sparky, kind of gave the place brought a spark to it. Yes, he has to play Lee Griffiths. If he doesn't start with Lee Griffiths tomorrow night and it goes wrong, then he's possibly looking at curtains. I think he'll still get the England game next month anyway, but historically, if you look back to the last 3 managers, they've all gone in the November time and a new guy comes in January. George Burley, Craig Levein, before that. That's what happens. So Gordon's got to try and avoid that scenario. The only way he can avoid it, in my opinion, is by winning tomorrow night. If we don't win tomorrow night and people say we're still alive in the section, we are kidding ourselves on. Yeah,
well, this is the manager's take on how vital this game is, and of course the perception with the Slovakians, because they also need to win or they're well out of this group.
Doesn't change much for us. I don't know how they would feel about it, you know. We had a team in my mind for that game on Tuesday and the way we're going to play. So it doesn't change much. You need to ask them how it sets up for them.
So he said he has a team in mind. He had a team in mind anyway for the Slovakia game, which suggests it might have been the odd tinkering here and there. I think he's going to tinker with it even more. Apart from Griffiths, was there anyone else that you thought? I mean, MacArthur could come in for Fletcher because of his injury, but apart from that, is there any other, glaring mistake there that you think should be rectified?
I would like to see him finding somewhere for Stephen Naismith. I know he's not been playing regular with his club, but he has that energy. He seems to be able to play that player who can play off a striker. He can defend as well. I think he gives you something extra. I would like to see him. I think MacArthur will probably stay in now if Fletcher can't make it. The back 4 will pick itself. The goalkeeper will pick itself. So I can't see that many changes. It's when Gordon keeps saying we need a bigger result in a competition. I can't remember the last time we had a big result.
When was the last?
I can't remember.
When was the last time we won a game we weren't expected to win?
France.
But yeah, what was that? 8-9 years ago.
2007.
But yeah, that's the last time we won a game. And that's the closest that time in the past 20 years is the closest we've been to qualifying. We just missed out in the last game at Italy during that session. So there you go, tells its own story, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the last time I actually was working with you as well in a stadium.
Wonderful commentary.
Wonderful night out afterwards, to be honest with you. oh, how we'd love that again.
The good old days.
Yeah, absolutely, when we used to forage across Europe winning games. But with that in mind, they're up against the Slovakians. Say, listen, I mean, Lithuania were ranked 117 in the world. We're inside the top 50. But I think in this one, England got it tough against them. I'm not calling for Gordon Strachan's head. I think it's too early. I think, these next 2 games are going to be so crucial. I just can't see us getting a win. I don't know. I mean, he's going to have to shock me with something tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that, Ruffy.
Yeah, I think the good thing about it is this team also don't score goals. They maybe score 1 and win 1-0, but I think we've fallen into a trap and forgetting about the third team in the group, Slovenia. I think we've all focused on Slovakia and take more eye off Slovenia, who are not a bad side, and they could be the other team that's challenged. We've got to beat.
Okay, you can give us your view on this at Peter and Ruffy on Twitter and facebook.com/Peter and Ruffy. Lots more to discuss across all the other World Cup qualifiers that have been taking place, and of course some of the big games coming up this week. We'll also talk about Rangers and the ongoing Joey Barton saga. That will come right after the break. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. Alan Ruff is alongside me, Peter Martin. Our Bootroom guest on a Monday, as ever, is Mark Guidi. We've been talking about Scotland's predicament with Slovakia on the horizon, and of course that November date with England at Wembley. And I'm just looking at some of the teams. We're all talking about it and saying, OK, we're looking for second place. I was looking at the other qualifiers. If you were to get second place, and remember there are 8 other, there's going to be 7 other teams in there all playing in a playoff. I was looking at some of the teams potentially you could get. Anyway, this is us looking and thinking second we could be heading to Russia. Iceland, Greece, Italy, Romania or Poland, Republic of Ireland or Wales, Azerbaijan, Faroe Islands or Portugal, just on the basis of where the group is at the moment, and France. So
we're there.
Absolutely. Let's plan for it now. I'm not too sure. Just briefly, when what you said in the first half there, Ruffy, I don't think there's a place, Mark, for Stephen Naismith. I think the clamour now is for Griffiths.
Yeah, although I do like Stephen Naismith, a lot of qualities, particularly in the air. He gives you a different dimension, I think, for a guy. He's got a great leap. But like you said as well, Peter, I hope Scotland win, and I hope Gordon Strachan's in the job and get. I don't want to see him fail, but we have to be realistic about where we are just now and where it looks like we're possibly going. Yeah,
and I was watching an old couple of well-kent faces from Slovakia that were on STV today, Dr. Joe Venglos and Lubomir Moravchik, who say they don't think Slovakia are favourites. Dr. Joe said it, he used about 5,000 words to eventually get it out to us. It was good to hear him. I remember all the interviews now that lasted an hour and a half and could have been sanctioned into about 20 seconds. But he doesn't think they're favourites.
Yeah, well, they're certainly not on a good run. It's another defeat for them there. Look, it's the ideal time to get them. And you know what? See if we do win tomorrow night, it really will kickstart our campaign and putting us a high for Wembley for next month. So do you know what? We should actually go there. I disagree with you. I can see he's winning. And I think, as I say, this is the time to now bring out a result that few people are expecting. It starts tomorrow night.
Give us your prediction.
2-1 Scotland.
1 each.
I think 2-1 Slovakia. OK, there you are. That should get me on the troll list. Yeah, absolutely. Let's. I hope I'm wrong. Let's crack on with. Listen, if you if you think we're in the doldrums, think about Wayne Rooney. I'll tell you, this could be death by 1,000 cuts, Ruffy, because I think when you have it in for someone, you have it in for them, and right now there is a real groundswell from the English press to get him out, and for the life of me, I don't understand it. I mean, I'm looking at it from outside thinking, this is going back over old ground with England. If there's a talented player, they just savage him, and he seems to be the scapegoat. They can't fit him in anywhere.
Yeah, the exact opposite thing is if he was available for us, he'd be a star. It'd probably make us not a bad side because he's that kind of player. He's a quality player. It doesn't matter. I mean, people just can't get their head round that he's not playing up front. I mean, any of the games I've seen, he's got a good touch. He can see a pass. It's just that, as you said, it's one of these players that everybody's decided to have a go at. But he would be on my side every week. It's
almost as if the only way he gets cut any slack now, Mark, is he has to score a goal.
Yeah, I mean, for the England fans to boo him at the game at the weekend there against Malta, it's shameful. And the one thing I would add, what is he guilty of? Nothing. Guilty of maybe not being the player he was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Time's caught up with him. But if he's been selected by the manager, then he out and gives one thing. He gives 100%. It might not have the same kind of talent anymore, but I would agree with you, Peter. I hope it's not a slow death for him. Yeah. Do the right thing and just pull him away and let him concentrate in his club career. But until England appoint a permanent manager, then this one will be hanging in the balance.
The last point on this, Ruffy, I'd love them to come up with a player who can do what he does. I'm not for a minute suggesting he can run the legs off anybody anymore. Whether he could in the past is even open to debate, but he can certainly pass it.
Yeah, I think that they found a position for him, you know, and it's just having the players run about him to fill the void. I still think he's got goals in him. I still think he's a threat. I still think he's a quality player. I just don't understand it at all. I think it's, as Mark touched on it there, he set such a high standard that people can't accept it. You can't be at that level all the time.
Yeah, if he's not their best player, he's certainly in the best two.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe someone else has a different opinion on it. Okay, every week on this show, we could have actually made a soap opera out of Joey Barton. It's just dragged on and dragged on. My opinion on this one, Mark, is they are now exploring every avenue they can to work out how they get rid of him.
Yeah. Yes, you can see it now. The words that are coming out of both camps, the off-the-record briefings from both camps suggest that Rangers don't want him here, and Joey Barton is saying all the right things. I want to be there. I'm up in Glasgow waiting. I've got my boots ready for the game on Friday night. So he's saying everything right, so that there can't be any chinks in the armour in terms of trying to get him on an unfair dismissal charge, or you know, trying to look at contract. For me, Peter, they'll have to sit down. You know, let's say, for example, what's he got left in his contract? 20 months?
Yeah, well, it's 2 million we're talking about
so,
here.
Let's say it's £2 million. You try and cut a deal. You know, you say, okay, listen, you're on 20 grand a week. We'll pay you 10 grand a week for the next X amount of months, and we'll let you go and sign for someone on January. Now, it depends. He might look for everything in full. He might say, well, that's fine. I've got something lined up there in January. I'll go and make it money. But the one thing is, for both parties, particularly for Rangers, there has to be a parting of the ways very quickly.
Strangely enough, you say that, Mark, and I'm not suggesting for a minute that Rangers don't have any money. I'm suggesting that Rangers, I don't think, want to even give him $1 million. Because every penny is a prisoner at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't think the Rangers have got $1 million, you know, at this precise moment in time that they could waste on giving it to another player. I'm sure the manager has thoughts in January, and that £1 million could be 1, 2 or possibly 3 players coming in, and if you give it to a player leaving, then it sets you back a wee bit. And I'm sure Rangers will want to try and get into Europe this year, and they'll need that kind of money when January comes.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it is, you know, you would be paying off someone who's not going to contribute in any capacity all the way through to January, as Ruffy mentioned.
Yep.
He's not. I don't think he's going to be any great loss to the actual starting 11 anyway, Mark.
No, it won't be. But the bottom line is, he's signed a contract, and you know, I defy anybody. And I've always said it, whether it be a manager, if you signed a contract and somebody wants rid of you, whether it's a chief executive or a manager, or whatever, then you're entitled to get as much as you can. You think Joey Barton's going to just say, yeah, you know what, you're right, money's a bit tight. I've not actually performed the way I thought I would have. Yeah, I'll just go. I'll take nothing. It doesn't happen nowadays. Yeah. So Joey Barton will say to me, you either give me what I want, or I'll turn up for training every day. You want me training with the kids at 6 o'clock at night? I'll be there so that I justify my wages and I don't step out of line. So it's a tricky one, and I think there's a lot of negotiation to go. Yeah,
absolutely. If anything, the betting allegations, that might give Rangers a slight edge if he was deemed to have been, you know, open to a penalty from the SFA for these 44 matches, Mark.
Yeah, but you know, there's a precedent there with Rangers players of the past few years where you know Ian Black and stuff like that. You know, so it's not like Rangers have actually dismissed any players guilty of that in the past. So legally, where would Rangers stand if they said, well, actually, yeah, you've got to go? I'm sure that, you know, Joey Barton's people would be all over that.
Yep, okay. Just before we finish, the Challenge Cup quarter-final draw, Ruffy, after the weekend's games, it's Livingston against the New Saints. Sounds like an American football game, but I assure you it's not. Queen of the South